Hello and welcome to Radically Aligned. Oh, I'm so excited to have you on this journey with me. My name's Vicki Chisholm. I'm going to be your host. We're going to be exploring all things alignment in business and in your soul. We're going to be bringing together some amazing episodes to help you cultivate the alignment that works for you so you can have soul-aligned business success. But more importantly, we're also going to be bringing in guests for interviews so you can learn not just from me, but from experts all over the world. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, we're back again, and today we have the amazing Sonka. She has come today to share some of her magic with you. So Sonka, I'll let you do the wonderful introduction of who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this podcast. I hope you listened to all the previous ones because they are all amazing, building up to this as well. So yeah, hello. Thank you, Vicky, for having me here. First of all, it's incredible to be here on your podcast. And I'm Sonka, and let's see what comes. How I want to introduce myself today. And I know Vicky said I'm doing my magic. Yes, I am doing my magic now. But if you ask me maybe a year ago, I would be me magic? No way. I'm not the one. I'm not. It's everybody else is doing magic, but not me. Actually, not that long ago, I was still working in corporate as a mechanical design engineer. That was my background, and I loved it until I didn't. And I love the engineering part, but what really kind of messed it up a little bit for me were relationships. And that's a very important part of my life, relationships, not just with each other, but with ourselves mainly, because I believe that's where it starts. And I think briefly that's what I do. I bring people back to their and to the relationship with themselves, especially female entrepreneurs, because we've got so many heads and we've got so much to do and so much going on in our brain, in our heads. And we just forget who we are because we are a bit of everything. And also, as we grow up and as we go through system and society, I believe because I see us as energetic beings. I see us like these parts are being taken away from us or kind of a little bit disconnected from us, whether it's a system, whether it's a schooling, whether it's a partner, relationships, and kind of everybody grabbing bits and bobs. So my main work is kind of bring all those parts again into one and into harmony, into unity, so we know what's ours, what isn't ours, and just be one, be grounded into ourselves, in our hearts, our souls, and yeah, that calmness within.
Absolutely. So Sonka, you tell us about what you do. What do you really do? Who do you serve?
Okay, so I work mainly with female entrepreneurs. It's just somehow happened, but also I would be absolutely passionate working with the female professionals, being one. So because I feel like energetic work needs to come into leadership in those spaces. And what I do when my magic is in chakra harmony, it is something that came into my life out of nowhere. And it was on a back burner for many years, but now it's my main kind of main fire of my work, and everything else comes around it. And it's really working with energy, with chakras, tuning in. And I see myself if you imagine yourself as a flower on a water, or petals in the water, and each chakra is a petal in different color. I'm that water, kind of moving the way, which I feel it's incredibly beneficial for you, for your energy, and helping you to tune in and harmonize with me your energy. So I think it's the best way to kind of describe. So I move with you. It's all through movement. So it's not sitting exercise. It can be, but I absolutely love when we get into the room and we move our body, tap into intuition, how our body wants us to move, and respond to that. So through movement, chakras, and a harmony, and that in alignment. Does it even make sense?
It does make sense. So you would say that you are in leadership mindset for female entrepreneurs, and you help them connect energetically to be able to stand in their power and lead from the front line.
Yeah, I'm glad we are recording this. Yes, yeah, and this is, this is what I absolutely love when I've been talking to you. Is like I go like this flowery kind of descriptive, and yeah, and then Vicky goes in and is like, so is this what you do actually for anybody actually into layman terms? So yes, yeah, and
Really?
the leadership is important for me, and that's the part which obviously took me the longest to step into. But yeah, and actually yesterday I addressed women from the viewpoint and kind of addressing them, and that true leadership actually came through. And I wish for every single woman, because we all have something to lead here. I think we are all leaders in some aspects. So to bring that kind of feeling that actually this is my work, this is where I'm leading someone to somewhere really purposeful and important for them.
Absolutely.
It's really really lovely work to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love bringing people back to who they are, which
Mhm.
is why we're on this Radically Aligned podcast, right? But I just believe that if we all came back to ourselves rather than kept looking outside of ourselves, we'd be a lot happier in general. The world would be a much happier place. And the reason I believe that is through my own experiences, but also what
Mm.
I've witnessed in a professional capacity and what I've seen and what I've observed and what I've grown to learn. So I was not in alignment with myself until I reached, I don't know, mid-30s, because I didn't even know what that was, what it meant. I had no identity, I had no self-esteem, I had no confidence. How can you lead from that space? Um, and that was something that made me question who I was and what I was doing, which led to my business being closed down. At an earlier in my 30s. It was only when my business closed down that I was given the space to actually consider who I am and what I'm doing. And the business didn't fail. I just wrapped it up and said no more. So it was it was interesting to go from that perspective of I had built my first business based on what I thought I needed to build. And I had this vision, but the vision was actually not my vision. The vision was what society had led me to believe I needed to create to make success. And it was only when I took a step back from everything and discovered who I was that I was able to then look at the bigger picture and say, actually, it's not even what I want. Why on earth would I want a massive office with loads of staff? I don't even like people, let alone have loads of staff. So I had to refigure what it is I wanted. And then through life, I had to refigure who I was. So I had to go on this massive journey of rediscovering me, rediscovering who I am, what I do, how I do it, how I want to show up, how do I want to live my life, what does freedom look like, and had to really start questioning all those things. And that's what brought me back into alignment. And then ultimately, it's brought my business into alignment.
Mm.
So, what was it for you, apart from obviously going from the corporate and not being lit up? What was it for you that then brought you into the space of, no, I'm going to focus on leadership. I'm going to focus on working with these women. And this is the work that we're going to do to make that happen. What was that turning point for you?
The turning point feels like lasted 14 months because I was being turned and turned, and I was trying to turn the other way for a long time. But for me, I think the turning point was when I realized that doesn't matter what I do, even if it looks good on paper for me, having my own business, nothing is actually happening. Nothing is actually happening for me. And already leaving corporate all those months, it was the most beautiful internal journey I could have ever asked for. If you really want to know who you are, start your own business.
Absolutely.
Because I thought I've got it already, I've got it all figured out, but I didn't have myself figured out. I left corporate, I left identity when everybody goes, "Oh, you're mechanical design engineer, wow." And suddenly, next day, I was like, I'm not that anymore. So who am I going to introduce myself? Like, who am I? And it wasn't conscious. It wasn't conscious being me sat there actually asking these questions, but that's what 12, maybe 14 months after was. And I was more and more kind of turned to energy work. More and more people were asking for that, not what I was thinking I want to do, but more it was like, when are you doing your next session? How can I reach you? And I was like, okay. And turning point for me when I'm thinking about that was being away with beautiful women, the retreat, and we all wrote each other love letters. And we took them home and we read them at home. It was 10, 11 of us, and some of them came to my sessions before, and 5 or 6 letters didn't say anything about my other company, about other ventures, but they all said, I hope you'll make your chakra dancing full time and it will work out with you, and one way or the other. And I was like, okay, I hear you. I can't be more clear. And I've got a goosebumps as I'm saying it. So for me, that was a turning point. It was like, okay, I'm saying I have no fucking idea what to do with this. This was not a plan. But I'm sitting down here declaring that, okay, show me what I'm supposed to be doing with these tools. And from that moment on, I just had ideas, downloads, people came into my life to show me what else is there, because we all have blind spots and we all need that second pair of eyes, but these eyes as well, the third eyes as well as. So I think that was my turning point. I really needed somebody to tell me million ways that actually I'm not looking the right way. I'm not looking at the right path. I'm looking at the path which I'm trying to create, but there is one already created for me. And if I start walking that way, everything will kind of align. And it did, and it still is. It still is. So yeah, long turning point. But if I had to pinpoint it to one moment, that was reading those love letters, um, making it clear for me where I'm supposed to be going.
That's really beautiful. I'm sorry if the dog just disrupted us.
No. I'm hoping mine won't go off.
Yeah, my dog's
I'll
just
switch off button on them.
totally mental. I was like, no, shush.
Yeah, I'm expecting mine to
So
go.
yes, what we will do is look at how you've been able to create from a space of complete alignment, because
Mm,
that's just been beautiful, hasn't it, for you in your
yeah.
business and knowing at which you do. And just being in your energy now, it's very calm, it's very centered, it's very you know where you're going. The calm confidence that comes from you actually is something that I know a lot of people aspire to have.
Mm.
So what would you say to any women in leadership that are looking for the calm confidence that you hold today?
The confidence, as you say, the confidence, well, first of all, it was something I didn't know I had in me, or didn't know there is still some missing of it.
Yeah.
Because outside doing coming into different country, doing what I was doing, leaving the job, people say, oh my God, that's confident. But actually, I was still not doing enough to move the needle. And the confidence for me really clicked. Again, it felt like it was another way around. I said yes to what I was shown,
Mm.
and the confidence just landed for me, because I could feel it in my whole body. Suddenly, I know why I'm here. Suddenly, I understood that I'm here to lead these beautiful women to the place when we can smell the bullshit by a mile, when we can tell when somebody is trying to fool us, when something doesn't fit for us, we just know. So we don't have this confusion and constantly kind of externally being confused and split. So we've got that really certainty in our heart of knowing, and suddenly I knew I could see this bigger picture. So I stopped making it about myself, and it was like, oh my God, what do I look like? Is my hair okay on Instagram? Shall I do the? And suddenly all that kind of just like, it's not even, I don't even think about that. So confidence kind of landed for me with that alignment. So it was work, work, work. Bring myself closer and closer and closer to who I am. And it was daily work. It was every minute, every second. It's not sitting in a meditation for me. And I think this is what, if I may say, pisses me off a little bit about the spiritual world out there, because it's no point to be aligned and knowing and feeling our intuition when we are in a space when everybody agrees with us, when we've got meditation and we are in a beautiful space with beautiful people who are supporting us. It's more important to be able to kind of tap into it when we actually need it in the real world. So it was daily work, coming back, practicing. And once it clicked and clicked and clicked, confidence just grew and grew and grew for me. So again, that work, rather than ramping up the confidence, I would suggest go deeper, go closer, go more in and more in and more in, until it's just it will be there, because that's you.
The
And you don't have
embodiment
to,
actually of
that
who you are
embodiment.
that brings in the calm confidence.
Yeah, yeah,
I do agree. I do agree.
yeah.
Wow. Gosh, they've just covered so much in such a short space of time there, Sonka. So where can people find you?
Well, the best at the moment is Instagram, at delicious you with 3 U's at the end. And don't ask, Instagram. And also you can email me at hello@sonkabraunova.co.uk. And I would love to continue these conversations and what's coming up for others, because I'm learning so much from sharing with other women. It's just beautiful what's in us, and I just want to hear it all.
It is, it's lovely. And I love that you found your own alignment, you found your own truth, and you stepped into the power of you, because that really is what alignment is all about. It's about reclaiming that power and choosing the path that you want, rather than choosing the path that you thought you had to live first. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Sonka, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Vicky.
And we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
That's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. All these episodes are created in line with my book, Radically Aligned. Go check it out on Amazon, grab a copy, and let's get you started. At the back of the book, they'll also find a QR code where you'll get access to some amazing resources. You don't want to miss it. See you in the next episode.